Today we will see about the construction of three-phase induction motor from the first chapter. So let us see firstly the internal construction diagram of the three-phase induction motor. We know that the three-phase induction motor has mainly stator frame or mainly stator and the rotor. These are two windings. So first one is the stator and second one is the rotor. So next one is stator core and rotor core. Next part is nothing but your air gap. The air gap is in between the stator and rotor. Next one, stator winding and rotor winding, air inlet outlet, and last are the brushes and the slip rings. So now we will see the detail in construction. So firstly we can say here these are the this is our stator and this is our rotor. This is nothing but your stator frame, or it is also called as cast iron frame. It houses the stator winding. Here it is nothing but your stator winding, that is the stator coil. On the stator frame there are lifting eye. So with the help of this lifting eye we can simply carry out our induction motor. Next one is nothing but nameplate. As per the specification, at the time of manufacturing the data should be provided on the nameplate, so easily we can understand the specifications or the rating of our induction motor. So here the nameplates are available on the stator frame. Next one is nothing but your stator coil. This stator coil is placed in the stator core. This is main part, that is our stator, and next one is nothing but your rotor. So here in this construction there are squirrel cage rotor. There are two types of rotors. First one is the squirrel cage and second one is nothing but your slip ring induction motor or slip ring rotor. So here we are using the squirrel cage rotor. In next lecture we will see the types of rotor in detail. So in the construction there are mainly two parts, stator and the rotor. Next one is nothing but our fan, that is the cooling fan is used. Next are the end rings, or it is also called as end bell, and last one are the bearings, bearing and seal or bell bearing, and last one is the outer cover, or this is the our fan cover. So corresponding to this one we have to take the parts, their material and the function of that each part in detail. So first one is nothing but our stator frame. So here we can see the stator frame. This is made up of cast iron material. And what is the function of this stator frame? It supports the core and the internal parts, that is the inner parts of the stator, that is nothing but your stator frame, stator core, stator winding, slots, paper insulation. So this stator frame supports to the core and protects the inner parts, and it is made up of cast iron. Next one is the stator core. Here is nothing but your stator core. This stator core is made up of silicon steel and houses the stator winding. So this stator core houses to the stator coil or the stator winding. Next one is the stator coil, or it is also called as the stator winding. We know that the windings are made up of copper material or aluminum. We are using the copper material normally. So these are made up of copper material. The function of our stator winding or the stator coil, it produces the rotating magnetic field in the air gap. So the air gap is between the stator and rotor. In the air gap, the one magnetic field is produced whenever we are giving the three-phase supply to the stator winding. The magnetic field is produced and it rotates in the air gap with the same direction of rotor. and it is called as the rotating magnetic field, and that rotating magnetic field is produced by the stator winding. That rotating magnetic field cuts the rotor conductor and the EMF gets induced in the rotor conductor. That rotating magnetic field in the three phase, that is equals to 1.5 times maximum flux which is produced in the stator core. So there is one equation for the RMF, that is equals to 1.5 times phi m. So this is the stator parts. So next one is the stator coil. Next we will move towards the rotor parts. So here will be our rotor winding, or we can say that a squirrel cage rotor. This squirrel cage rotor or this winding is again made up of copper material, copper and insulated, and the function of this rotor winding is nothing but to produce the rotor current. So this rotor winding produces rotor current. Next one is the air gap. So air gap between the stator and rotor. So here this rotor is inserted in the rotor. So rotor is a rotating part and stator is a stationary part. In between the stator and rotor, to friction, to rotate, to rotation, there is a air gap, and the air gap is provided in between the stator and rotor. Next part is nothing but air inlet outlets. So the air inlet outlets are again given for the air circulation. For the air circulation, air inlet and outlets are provided in the construction of three-phase induction motor. Next one is the slip rings. In the slip ring induction motor, slip ring type rotor, the slip rings are available, and these slip rings are again made up of phosphorus bronze. These are made up of phosphorus bronze or copper, and these slip rings are used to connect the external rotor resistance with the help of brushes. These are available in the slip ring type induction motor. Next one are the brushes, and that brushes are made up of, we know that brushes are made up of our carbon material or by the carbon, and the function of our brush is nothing but it is provide connection between the external resistance and the slip rings in the slip ring type induction motor. So it is the middle one portion that connects external resistance and the slip rings. So it is helps to connect the external resistance to improve the to control the speed of induction motor. At that time these brushes are helpful. And last one is nothing but shaft. The shaft is used to support the motor. That shaft is supporting towards the motor. So this is nothing but our detailed construction of the induction motor. So in the construction, mainly there are two parts. We had seen that the first one is stator and second one is the rotor. Stator is a stationary and rotor is the rotating device. And corresponding to the stator and rotor, there are another parts related with that one that are again most important for the whole construction of the induction motor.